And I've got a good question for you going back to comedians and who you'd go watch. What are your thoughts on people who heckle at stand-up comedian shows? I hate them. More than anyone, because I sit there. There's two types of hecklers. The ones that go because they want attention and they want it as much as they can, so they'll say whatever they can so the eyes go to them. Or the one that's even worse, the person that gets offended by everything and feels like they have to somehow speak up. That boggles my mind, because if you know you're the type that's going to get offended and you've seen this comic's name, don't go.
Be a voice actor when I was younger. Not really. I actually wanted to do stand-up comedy.
Did you really?
Yeah, so bad until I realised I'm shit at telling jokes. So incredibly bad.
Did you have one in the pocket that you thought was a winner?
Oh, definitely not. I thought. Do you remember in high school when I thought my accents were great? I remember as well. The worst part is, to anyone out there who's watching this right now,
yeah,
and or listening, go to your memories on Facebook.
Yep.
And it will be like, on this day. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I genuinely cringe at the statuses I made in like year 7 to bloody even 11, man. I don't know what genuinely was wrong with me. I'm a different person to that person then. But like, mate, I reckon I did 3 days in a row.
Yep.
Like this status if you think my accents are good. And people would be like, what accents? I'd be like, I've got British, Russian and American. And I still remember to this day exactly what I said for each accent.
I need this. You can't.
Which
not
accents?
Do it now. All three.
Oh no. Well, I reckon I've got 4. Yeah, well, the Irish one's like, to be sure, potato, potato, potato. I'm like a little Galway girl, Ed Sheeran. And then there's the English one, which is terrible. It's what is it actually? Hang on a sec. I gotta think real hard. Yeah. I'll do the American one because that comes to mind straight away. Want to come over to my place and play on the foosball table from Texas? We can go shooting, rooting, tooting. Got a big truck. Come over to my place. No. Get yourself a beer. The Russian one was terrible.
Oh, we changed the direction now.
So it was, man. But the Russian one was, in Russia, we fuck you. You want some vodka?
That's got a hint of something else.
Vladimir Putin.
That one, I don't mind that one, actually.
That one, not bad. Not bad, good size. The English one, though, I think it was, you want a cup of tea and a biscuit? From England.
I like that one. Hold on.
Don't
You butchered it at the end. Try that again.
I'm trying to speak like this all week, mate.
Yeah, you sound like a 9-year-old girl or something from England.
I could sound like the Queen. I've got corgis.
I like that too. No, that's some good accents, mate.
There's Jimmy Carr as well.
Jimmy Carr. Oh, I hate his laugh, man.
Kawasaki. Pooper, scooper.
That is nothing like
That's
Jimmy
what he says. That's how he says. If you
I know he might say it, but that's not what he sounds like.
If you YouTube it, that's what he'll say. And his favourite go-to thing is always like, I want to come to your work and knock the fucking dick out of the sailor's mouth or something. I don't know what he says properly, but it's such a go-to, man. It's such a go-to. Good on him. Stand-up comedians.
You're so out of your depth with Jimmy Carr.
Oh, please.
You just start blurting stuff out.
Please.
But I will admit, I hate his laugh. I thought that was a bit.
That
was there. There you go. You got that a bit better. But his laugh, it puts me way off. I thought it was a joke. I thought that was part of his skit.
You wish.
No, it's his actual laugh.
Dead ass his laugh.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, what comedians do you...
My favourites?
Yeah, like your go-tos. Like if you were like to go to, say, the comedy show in Melbourne.
Yep.
Or Perth, who would you go to see?
There's a comedy group called Auntie Donna.
Yes, you showed me them. You introduced me to them.
They've got Christmas Pud, if you've seen that video.
What's the other one? Is Christmas Pud... No, the cheese one.
Oh, actually, yeah.
That one was good.
That was good.
They've recently done the one for real estate.
Yep.
And like house sitting as well.
Yeah, they're my favourite. Like dead set.
They're really good, actually. They got some great skits.
They're amazing. And the other one would be Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, great choice.
Ricky Gervais, he just doesn't really care, and he makes every point he makes is amazing. And then I think the last one, if Dave Chappelle, he's just the greatest stand-up comedian of all time.
I used to, growing up, used to be a massive fan of Russell Brand. I don't know why. I used to really enjoy what he did. Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Ross Noble, I loved. He was like the guy, like long hair, the English dude.
I haven't seen him
He
in
does,
ages.
I can't remember. I've got a DVD of it, and he just goes on about, like, I think it's like ninjas.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Okay.
And Arj Barker. I used to love Arj Barker. I don't know why, but I think when I was younger, his stuff was like really funny. It's like, Archie, you know how to say Melbourne? He's like, yeah, I know how to say Melbourne. It's not the first time I've ever been to Victoria. And it's like, I don't know. Like, I used to think that was funny.
They've got some good moments on Thank God You're Here, which is one of the most underrated TV shows of all time.
So underrated. Who was the guy's name? Angus, and he was always like,
Hey, Angus Sampson. He was. I still go back to this day and watch some of his Thank God You're Here. Same with Hamish Blake.
yeah,
Didn't miss a beat. I would watch and I would go, for real, did they get practice before this? Because they're too funny.
Well, I remember I used to watch it, and I always used to think Angus was a bit younger wise.
Yeah.
I was just like, his tone's a bit like creepy.
Yeah.
He's very old. He's like, yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
How can I help?
That is so
And
true.
so, and I was always like, I don't know if I like that. Whereas Hamish, it's like, thank God you're here. He's like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What was I doing again? And then he would just go on.
Yeah,
Like-
he had one for The Bachelor as one of the Thank God You're Here moments, and it was so funny. But it was so funny in a way of like, surely this is not all off the cuff. Like, there is no way.
Yeah, like pre-script sort of thing.
Yeah, and if it is, incredible. Absolutely. And
Great improv.
And you can't do that today as well. You can't let celebrities like that, because so many times they would say something that was just so out of pocket.
Bit scandalous.
And these days,
Ooh.
it would just... Cancelled.
Straight
Because
up
if you
cancelled.
said exactly what went into your head, cancelled. But back then, there was a lot more leeway. And but
Tell you what was another good
was
show actually for that? Just in general, like early Rove. Like when we were growing up, like Hamish
You're
and Andy, when
spot
they were
on.
there, like doing the ghosting, like their
Yeah.
overseas things that they did. Even with Cutting Love to Ryan Shelton. Hey guys, it's Ryan Shelton here.
Ryan
he
Shelton
was
was good.
great. Even Peter Hellier.
Oh,
I don't know if
he
I've
had a
pronounced that
segment too.
correctly, but like his segments were
Yeah.
really good as well.
Early
Carrie
Rove.
Bickmore.
Carrie Bickmore had a good segment. Early Rove was quality, real quality.
Like when we were growing up,
Yeah, was absolute quality.
when he came back, it was trash.
Yeah, when he came
Sorry
back.
to shit on you, Rove. I love you. I do love you. You're probably never ever going to see this,
Yeah.
but
Well, he tried
He
to
did,
go
he
and make
did,
it in
but-
America as well.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
I didn't
so
know
he
that.
had his own show that he took over to America. I don't know all the details, but it didn't last at all. It just did not
Yeah.
work. So early Rove was quality, but after that, just not too good. And I've got a good question for you, going back to comedians and who you'd go watch. What are your thoughts on people who heckle at stand-up comedy shows? I hate them. More than anyone, because I sit there. There's two types of hecklers. The ones that go because they want attention and they want it as much as they can, so they'll say whatever they can so the eyes go to them. Or the one that's even worse, the person that gets offended by everything and feels like they have to somehow speak up. That boggles my mind, because if you know you're the type that's going to get offended and you've seen this comic's name, don't go. Don't go.
My response to what you said, I completely agree. I think there's also the third heckler
Who's
as well.
the-
The
tell
drunk
me.
one that just
Ruins
randomly
every
yells
time.
out, like doesn't
Yep.
just every now and then just pops up.
Ruins
Just
everyone's
pops
time.
up. It's happened a lot to Frenchie. I've
Yep.
seen it at his shows. He gets like beer thrown at. Credit to Frenchie. Honestly, credit to any stand-up comedian, because
Yeah.
you got to deal with a lot of shit.
Yeah. On the fly,
The
too.
best ones though, and I must admit, I know that you're not the biggest fan of Jimmy Carr and how. I think his response to heckler, he's
the
so
best at it.
quick.
Yeah.
Like and you know it's good because I think the best one, it's even in high school growing up, or even when you're having a bit of banter with your mates, the best comebacks are the ones where you didn't even, there was no time to even, it was
just
just
happened.
straight away, just
Yeah.
bang, like, and you're like, I've got nothing, like, I wasn't expecting a reaction
Yeah.
or a reply so quick
Yep.
that now I'm just sitting there and like, fuck, you've got me. Like,
Yeah.
I've got nothing to.
And don't get me wrong, if Jimmy Carr didn't finish with that laugh, then I'd think he's the best of all time. I want to go to his shows. But I would listen to one of those comebacks, die laughter, think it's hilarious, and then he'd do that laugh, and I'd go, okay. Ruin it for
It's
you.
the same as, I think there was like a heckler in one of them, and he worked in like telecommunications. And the guy's like, I do telephone, and Jimmy Carr was like, you do telephone. Isn't it funny? You're in telecommunications, you can't even fucking speak. And I was just like, It's not wrong, mate. Not wrong, but
out of all those three hecklers, so you've got the drunk, the person looking for attention, and the person getting offended. If you had a one-time shot to do stand-up comedy, one of these hecklers is going to stand up and heckle you. What one would you rather deal with?
probably the one that gets offended. I'll just go in because it's like
Because then you can rip into them.
No, well, you can, and it's all within like reason and context. Again, context is key. We've already established this from one of our earlier podcasts. But and it fathoms me exactly what you were saying. I don't understand if you're going to the show.
Yeah.
Really, unless you've been invited by someone else, your partner, family, whatever. Realistically, you've bought a ticket knowing full well what you're getting into.
100%.
So, like, to me, I think, and it happens a lot actually. Isaac Butterfield has got so many people who try to cancel him, and it's like, if you're going to one of my shows, you know that I'm going to say some very taboo, like very sensitive, very crossing the line sort of jokes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is that not why you're going to it? Because you want to see that sort of humour and all that? And the thing that I see all the time, even with Dave Chappelle, and people are like, his stuff wasn't funny. He was picking on this, that. And it's like, good luck to anyone trying to be a comedian nowadays, because no matter what you say, you're going to offend someone.
You're going to.
Someone. Yeah. But I feel like that's all part of a comedian's job. Yeah. They tell their personal stories. They put their funny spin on it and stuff like that. Some jokes are going to land really well, some aren't, and that's okay. But you're going to see, like, I don't know, man.
No,
like,
I agree. And you made a good point before, like how there may be someone who gets dragged onto the show by their partner. But I'm just going to say this. Let's say I brought you to a comedy show and you didn't like the comic, but I was like, man, I just want to catch up with you. I'd love you to get you down, have a drink and watch. I would want to slap the shit out of you if you started heckling to something I've invited to. Because I would be there like...
I'd be super embarrassed, man.
Yeah, how embarrassed would you be?
I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah,
what is going on?
This guy.
Yeah.
And mate, could you imagine going to... Let's say we both said to each other, we hate tennis. I hate the colour of the ball.
I know exactly
I hate
where
the
you're going with
racket.
this.
I hate Rafael Nadal or whatever. Rafael Nadal?
Yeah, you got there in the end.
I nearly said a Ninja Turtle. Yeah. Everything about it. And then I go to you and I go, mate, got 2 tickets to the Oz Open, let's go. And we just go there and go, oh, that's the ball I hate. That's the player I hate. This all sucks. I'm going to speak up and let everyone know about it. Loser. Absolute losers.
There's nothing worse, and Nick Kyrgios is quite good at getting the crowd involved, more or less. I love it when he'll have a heckler and then he'll just be like to the ref, he's like, oi, stop the game, get him ejected.
Yep.
And did you see the one actually? So he
700 beers?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe the one that's had 700 beers. It's like, how, seriously though, during the tennis it's quite quiet for those who haven't watched tennis. I feel like everyone probably has at some stage. Same as golf. It's a very quiet sport. You cheer in between the point or the hitting the golf ball for those that play golf. So, you know, a bit of respect, respect. There would be nothing worse than having that. And as a referee, granted, like, especially if there's the constant same, but how would the referee be like, well, which one do you want me to kick out? It's like, bro, what do you mean? Clearly you can hear that one voice. Like, you might not know exactly where they're sitting, but it's clearly the same bloody person saying something the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this on the car ride home, and I think this could be pretty controversial, I reckon, because, again,
oh boy.
You know how there's that saying, don't judge a book by its cover?
Yes.
I reckon that's true 10% of the time.
Ooh, 10%. That's a big take. Mate,
10% of the time. I'll say I used to work in a supermarket.
Fact or cap?
Come back for the next episode. I used to work in a supermarket, and I don't care what people say. If I see a guy with no shirt, a trench coat, and a beer sticking out of his pocket, and there's smoke in his mouth, I'm going to be watching him for stealing.
Oh, 100%.
And guess what? Real quick, shock, he steals.
Who would have guessed?
Like,
not
all
me.
the time. There was never a scenario where I would walk in and I would keep my eye on him, like, hey mate, sorry, like, are you going to pay for that? And him taking the durry out of his mouth and going,
Durry.
I'm so sorry, mate. Look, it's just for me and my wife. We're having a bit of a dress up today, and we're kind of dressing up as Deros. So we wanted to just have a role play. I'm actually a nice guy. That would never happen. I'll give you a perfect example of one thing that did happen. That, minus the trench coat, came in and started putting chocolate ice creams in his pockets.
It's never a good idea.
Chocolate ice creams in his pockets that was sticking out.
Like he shut himself. Bro, I swear I've just shut myself. It's not anything.
And I was like, oh my God. So I can see the ice creams. And then a customer came over and told me that he was pulling Christmas lobster out of the frozen aisle and putting it down his pants.
How annoying, just quickly on that.
Yeah, it was annoying.
How annoying is it though when a customer's like, I think this, it's like, mate, trust me. What? It's like how a customer might be like, oh, excuse me, Luke. I was just down aisle 5 and I think I saw someone, and it's like, bitch, I've been looking at the person ever since they walked in. I'm not going to tell you how to shop. Don't tell me how to look for.
I've had my eye.
Don't tell me how to look for thieves. Right? You get paid by the minute on this shit. I know what I'm doing.
Speaking of thieves, show me your bags.
Actually, Paul Black, and he just comes across on his fucking little moped.
So
little scoot.
I remember he came out, and I had to confront him and just be like, mate, I can actually see the ice cream coming out of your pockets. And then he just went nuts, and he's like, I'm not a thief, I'm not a stealer, how dare you? And then he pretended to swing at me, and I'm like, oh, and then he
missed me.
Yeah, and then he yelled out something about ISIS.
Jeez.
Like, oh my
Very
God.
controversial.
But back to the main point, like judging a book by its cover, mate, I feel like there's only a small amount of time when that's true. Like I remember I saw once on Today Tonight, there was a don't shake your head at me like that. It was when I was in primary school.
As soon as you said Today Tonight or Current Affair, there's nothing worse, and I'm really sorry to cut you off here. I'll try to do it less and less. There's nothing worse than a Current Affair, and I swear to God, they run the same exact stories week by week.
Yeah.
On a Monday, it's the mum that can't afford groceries. On the Tuesday, it's the bad neighbours that are always loud. On the third day, it's this guy can't get out of his police fine. And it's always worse. And then by Friday, Tracy Grimshaw comes on. It's like, are you sick and tired of hoons driving in your street? And it will go like cut to like someone in a generic Holden, like just spinning the wheels. It's like, yeah, we're going to put a stop to it. Yeah. We're cutting across to Brenton, who's there live. He's like, hey guys, I'm undercover. I'm in the VL Turbo. And it's like, what is this nonsense story?
Well, there's
seriously.
They do. But you know how it was back in I think late primary school, early high school, where you'd watch The Simpsons and then the news was on after that, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
So it was one of them when I guess actually sitting down with your family and having dinner was a thing. So this is where I remember it from. Yeah. And there was a clip where this 5-year-old girl got lost in a shopping centre, and this guy that you would say the equivalent of today's station rat, right?
Yes.
Really looked really dodgy. And just someone you wouldn't think to trust. He actually got her to her to tell him her address, and he walked her home. And the mother was freaking out. Now, tell me, for the love of God, that is like a 1% chance.
Oh shit, yeah.
If I walked around a shopping centre and I saw someone who looked like he did, this really just ratty, like shirt cut up everywhere, he just looked like someone who would try to steal something, walking around with a 5-year-old girl who's just your normal 5-year-old girl, I would question it. I would 100% follow
most definitely.
It. So I really do think when people are like, oh, don't judge a book by its cover, yeah, cut that down to the 10%. Sometimes you really do need to judge a book by its cover. I just personally think that.
And I think as well, some people are actually quite good at reading another person. Like I know, again, it's a bit taboo and I shouldn't judge it, but like sometimes you can just sort of tell.
Yeah.
I get everyone's got their own story. Everyone's been through their own shit, whatnot. But realistically, I'd say I agree. 90% of the time, I reckon you can make a pretty good judgment.
Yeah, definitely.
And
I know people, it's like controversial because there's definitely moments where some people, you'd be shocked by them, I guess.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, I think maybe if you saw someone who goes to gym a lot, they look like they go out and they absolutely love just being like a fuckboy or something, and then you found out they played board games every weekend.
Yeah, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, I think it's funny that you sort of mentioned that because a couple of weekends ago, I went out with one of my mates for his birthday, and we were just a bunch of footy boys, and I was expecting, you know, a bit egotistical, and then they would have the time of day, and I must admit, I was pretty blown away because they were just like, hey, mate, how are you? Nice to meet you. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you know this person, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, they're actually pretty genuine blokes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just perceived them as, like, generic footy boys are going to have, like, that. Look at me. Like,
Yeah,
sort of,
yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like, yeah. It is interesting, though.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's different, eh?
Most definite.
Everyone is different. What did we talk about? We talked about judging a book by its cover.
Some
and
accents, some
accents.
comedians.
Yeah, some comedians.
I've just realised that I've got a hole in my trackies that I bought yesterday, which is pretty annoying.
Already?
Yeah, already.
Fuck, I hate that.
Right in the crotch.
Right in the
Crotch.
in the crotch.
Which is annoying.
But we'll end
I'll
it
have to get
there.
a refund.
I've got a good topic for the next one because I'd love to hear your opinion.
Sounds beautiful, mate. We'll do it. We'll see you guys very soon.
We'll
Make sure to give it a rating, by the way, on Spotify.
Yep.
If you're watching it on YouTube, leave a like and comment. Give us some feedback. We'd love to hear it.
Love me to feedback.
Tweet us as well.
Yeah.
Jump on board the Instagram. And website should be launching very soon. If not, it might already be out by the time this goes live.
Very, very
Maybe
soon.
not. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. We haven't got a crystal ball.
We don't know. We can't tell the future.
We've got goals, but we might
Or
not hit
can
them.
we?
Yeah.
No, we can't. We definitely can. Or can we? No, we definitely can't. But maybe we... No, we can't.
No, we can't.
We'll just roll the magic 8 ball. Will it be up? Maybe. I don't know. Well, there's your answer, ladies
I
and
haven't
gents.
seen one of them in a long time.
I can't believe that they charge like $20 for one of them. And people actually like...
Kids' toys got charged.
I remember, dude. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back to
kids'
it.
toys. Love your work.
Thanks, Bess.